Yo, what's good out there? This is a rebuttal to Lexx's claims about the Council of Nicaea. In the last video he put up on Sonetta. And his claims actually aren't new. You actually see a lot of this conspiracy theory kind of attitude when it comes to Christianity or whatever. What was the point of the Council of Nicaea? What was this whole purpose? And what I find is time and time again, people are historically inaccurate when they come with this idea of this kind of Illuminati-esque group of people of power coming together to form a religion that they can use to control the masses. Okay? That narrative in regards to the Council of Nicaea is 1,000% false. And if you go into any university of any kind of history class, they will laugh you out of the building. We're going to get into what the Council of Nicaea was and what its purpose is, okay? And the purpose of it is actually simply this. Christianity was already off and popping. You had many different sects of Christianity. You had the Gnostics, you had the Arians, you had the Trinitarians. But by 325 AD, pretty much the only sects that were left that were of significance were the Arians and the Trinitarians. So during this time, Constantine had finally united the Roman Empire again. So, but you still had these religious people bickering about, is Jesus or Yeshua God, or is he just a man or a prophet? You know what I'm saying? And in order to stop all the confusion, Constantine, you know what? Let me just let these religious fanatics settle out their differences in a council. And they can vote and decide on whether Yeshua is God or he's just a man. That's it. That's the Council of Nicaea. That was the purpose of it. And mind you, the people that's coming to the Council of Nicaea, the bishops, to say that there's somehow, people with power and trying to control the masses. Mind you, these are the same people that were running and hiding 20 years ago from there when they were escaping the worst persecution of Christians ever, where the Romans was literally slaughtering them. Matter of fact, the Romans was putting the Christians in the Colosseums, allowing the Old Testament Jews to stone them in the Colosseums. This happened just 20 years before the Council of Nicaea. And the same people that were dodging the attacks and trying to hide from being persecuted by the Romans are the same people at that council. So to say it was some kind of conspiracy theory thing is factually and historically wrong. And it's also factually and historically wrong to say it consisted of all white people. Out of all the 318, 360, and somewhere between that ballpark, only 12 of them came from Europe. The overwhelming majority of the people of the Council of Nicaea came from the Middle East and North Africa. Egypt, Palestine, Syria. So this idea that it was a European council is fallacious. Matter of fact, if you went into the Council of Nicaea, it would look like you went into an Al-Qaeda meeting or something. I mean, it's like there was a lot of people that looked like the people we call terrorists today. And you also obviously had a lot of black people. But there's only 12 quote-unquote white boys there. And mind you, Arian himself was black. He was a Libyan. So, you have the main focal point of the whole council, ARIUS, his ideology versus this other ideology. The key figure in the Council of Nicaea is a black man, ARIUS. So we're going to get into more details about these things, whatever, but that's just the opener. Okay, let's start dispelling all these myths about this guy named Constantine. For starters, Constantine did not make Rome a Christian nation. What Constantine did do is make Christianity legal. Okay, let's look at the other player in the game. ARIUS, who is actually the pinnacle in the rock star of the whole Council of Nicaea. Okay? Now, ARIUS was born in Libya. This is a Libyan we're talking about. And he moved to Alexandria, Egypt, and became a priest there. But this is a Libyan. Some say he was Berber. Some say he was black. I mean, and it's kind of, nonsensical because there are some Berbers who are black. So, however you want to slice it, this is not a white guy. Also, this claim of him saying that the Council of Nicaea created Christianity to control the darker people of the world falls right on his head, considering the majority of the members of the council were the darker people of the world, North Africans and Middle Easterners. Only 12 of them were from Europe. Now, what happened is this. ARIUS goes up there to the council, makes his claim against the Trinitarians. He ends up losing. All favor swayed on the Trinitarians. So after that, he was exiled, but he was still promoting his Arianism. Okay, and we have to be clear. When I say Arianism, I'm not talking about Aryan as in the prison gang or Aryans as in the people that moved into the Indus Valley about 3,000 years before this. I'm talking about Aryans in context of followers of Arius who believe Jesus was just a prophet, a good guy, but not God himself. Okay, so ARIUS continued to push Arianism throughout the Middle East and Europe. And it caught the attention of Constantine's sister, Flavia Julia Constantia. And she ended up getting baptized as an Arian, not a Trinitarian. And this is what totally destroys people like Zion Lexx's theory of Constantine creating Christianity and Jesus being God in order to take over the world. This is really going to destroy it, and we're going to see how. See, when Constantine's sister became an Arian, that influenced Constantine to then reinstate Arian again and take him out of being exiled. Now, this is what you have here. The Arians now have all of the political control. They have the backing of the emperor and the emperor's sister. And then at Constantine's deathbed, Constantine is baptized as an Arian. Constantine was on the side of the Arians, and this totally destroys Zion Lexx's claim, because his claim is that they tried to make Jesus God and a deity or whatever, and that's what Constantine was doing, when Constantine believed the exact opposite. Constantine sided with the crew that did not believe Jesus was a deity. So this claim that he made this up is factually wrong. It is factually wrong. Lexx also makes the bogus claim that the New Testament was created during the Council of Nicaea, which is 100% false. And this is a mistake that I see a lot of people make, and we're going to get this clear right now. The Council of Nicaea had nothing to do with the biblical canon. I repeat, the Council of Nicaea had absolutely zero to do with the biblical canon at all. The Council of Nicaea was only about two things: when to celebrate Pesach and determining if Yeshua is in fact Yahweh incarnate. Those are the only two things the Council of Nicaea was about. Now, as far as the New Testament, there were already canons floating around almost 200 years before the Council of Nicaea. You have the heretic Marcion. You have his canon. You also have Irenaeus's canon. And this is about 200 years before the Council of Nicaea. And Irenaeus's canon is basically the canon we have today. He basically has 21 books, missing just 6 of them. So this idea that the New Testament was created in the Council of Nicaea is also false.